Transported to another world and surrounded by beautiful companions? That's right. Hello, it's me. Today we're diving into the top 10 Isekai harem anime you can't miss. Whether you're a seasoned weeb or just stepping into the genre, these shows deliver action, romance, and all the waifu chaos you could ask for. 10. Trapped in a dating sim. Blackmailed into playing a dating simulator set in a matriarchy. An ordinary man must put up with the unbearable and convoluted world until he clears the game. After countless days of grinding, he finally manages to beat it, but his hardcore gaming comes at a cost. Extreme sleep deprivation and hunger. While heading out to the convenience store to solve one of these problems, the man tumbles down the stairs and falls unconscious, only to wake up to the worst possible realization. He has been reincarnated into the game as the mob character Leon Faux Bartfort. Now trapped in a world he despises, Leon must use his knowledge of the game to navigate through the plot safely and sustain himself in a society where the odds are heavily stacked against him. 9. Loner life in another world. High school student Haruka has always been a content loner. One day he and his class are abruptly transported to another world and given skill points to use when choosing from an assortment of abilities and magical powers. Unfortunately, Haruka arrives last and he can only use his points on the seemingly impractical abilities the others had no interest in. Although he is on his own again and must adjust to his new life by himself, he much prefers it that way. However, Haruka's peaceful solitude is short-lived as he runs into some of his classmates. Weak to their pleas for help, he ends up sheltering and helping them reunite with the others. But the different cliques struggle to see eye to eye, forcing Haruka to find a way to end the infighting and restore harmony between them to survive the unfamiliar world. 8. The wrong way to use healing magic. Ken Usato, an ordinary high schooler, wishes for something fantastical to occur in his unremarkable life. Such an opportunity arrives when he is transported to another world alongside Kazuki Ryusen and Susan Inakami, two prodigious members of his school's student council. Arriving in Linger Kingdom, the three are deemed to be the heroes tasked with stopping the impending invasion by the Demon Lord's army. However, this is a misunderstanding. Usato was summoned by accident and, unlike his two friends, is not one of the heroes. Despite this disheartening revelation, Usato learns that he has an aptitude for the extremely rare healing magic. This catches the attention of Rose, the intimidating captain of the kingdom's rescue team, who forcibly takes custody of Usato to mold him into a full-fledged healer. As he undergoes grueling training under Rose's supervision, Usato resolves to become capable enough to protect his friends from the dangers of this world. 7. Tales of Wedding Rings. A decade ago, Princess Crystal Novati Harem no Kanatica traveled from another world to escape assassination attempts by an evil force. When she arrives in modern-day Japan, she encounters Haruto Satu. With him, she shares a promise: he must forget what he has just witnessed, and the two will become friends. Now heading back to the no Kanatica kingdom to fulfill her royal duties, Harem bids farewell to Haruto. However, when the young man suddenly remembers his first meeting with Harem, he rushes to the location where she first appeared and crosses the dimensional portal to be reunited with her. His arrival disrupts the marriage ceremony between Crystal and Prince Marmarugia's Jazaras. The wedding is brutally interrupted by the attack of an abyss monster who threatens the princess' life. Acting impulsively, Harem decides to exchange rings with Haruto, which grants her new husband light powers that permit him to slay the monster. Now dubbed as the Ring King, Haruto must marry 4 other princesses to acquire new magical powers and have a chance to prevail in his fight against the enemy of the world, the Abyss King. 6. I left my A-rank party to help. I can't do this anymore. Yuka Feldio, a red mage, just left his adventurer A-rank party. After being mistreated as a handyman and ridiculed for 5 years, he finally snapped. And so began his desolate, unemployed life, or so he thought. Through a stroke of luck, Yuka is welcomed into an all-female adventurer party comprised of his former students. As they defeat dungeons one after another, Yuka's true strength is gradually revealed. As it turns out, this red mage wields extraordinary magic and skills. 5. God's Game We Play. The ultimate thinking game, the Game of Gods, was created by the supreme gods who had too much time to waste. After waking up a long sleep, the former lecture goddess said, "Bring me the best player in this era." She has appointed Faye, a young boy who is considered the best recruit in recent years. The Gods game is so difficult that no one has ever managed to play it. Indeed, the gods are inconsistent, unreasonable, and sometimes incomprehensible. But that's why it would be a shame not to enjoy playing it with all your heart. 4. Konosuba. After dying a laughable and pathetic death on his way back from buying a game, high school student and recluse Kazuma Sata finds himself sitting before a beautiful but obnoxious goddess named Aqua. She provides the NET with 2 options: continue on to heaven or reincarnate in every gamer's dream, a real fantasy world. Choosing to start a new life, Kazuma is quickly tasked with defeating a demon king who is terrorizing villages. But before he goes, he can choose one item of any kind to aid him in his quest, and the future hero selects Aqua. But Kazuma has made a grave mistake. Aqua is completely useless. Unfortunately, their troubles don't end here. It turns out that living in such a world is far different from how it plays out in a game. Instead of going on a thrilling adventure, the duo must first work to pay for their living expenses. Indeed, their misfortunes have only just begun. 3. Date Alive. Itsuka Shido is a young high school student living a peaceful life until an explosion destroys the city and a young girl in armor appears in front of him. A few moments later, his adopted sister Kotori, who is actually commander of the military organization Ratatosker, teaches him that the girl in question is a spirit that destabilizes space-time. The only way to stop this threat is that Shido uses his mysterious power, allowing him to seal the powers of a spirit in his body. However, this method only works if the mind loves and trusts it. So, the organization Ratatosker will suggest that he go out with the spirit to gain his trust and affection. 2. Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World. One day, high school student Michio Kaga attempts to start a strange online game he found while browsing the internet. Instead, he gets transported to a rural village in the game's world, equipped with special skills and an overpowered sword. After collecting his thoughts, he finds himself battling against bandits and soon realizes that he cannot log out. Resigning himself to fate and accepting this reality, Michio sets out on a journey, enjoying his new life, conquering dungeons to earn money, and building a harem to satisfy all his manly desires. 1. Chain Soldier. The discovery of entries into another dimension known as Mado discovered a new resource called fishing. The latter confers superpowers only on women. However, dangerous monsters called Yamatsu Shuki wander also in the Mado and have since been responsible for various disasters. To fight them, the government formed anti-demon squadrons made up of women who received power from the peaches. One day, while walking home from school, a high school student named Yuki Wakura suddenly finds himself immersed in the dimension of Mado. Cornered by a horde of monsters, he is immediately rescued by Kyuka Yuzan, the commander of the 7th section of the anti-demon squadron. Recognizing his potential while needing him to fully use his power, she asks Yuki to join his squadron by becoming his slave, a position he might find more pleasant than he initially thought. So there you have it, 10 must-watch Isekai harem anime that bring the fantasy to life. Which one's your favorite? Did we miss a hidden gem? Let us know in the comments, like if you want more anime lists, and don't forget to subscribe for your next adventure.